Jamaica, greatest island in the world. Haiti, first black republic, we proud. Niger, giant of Africa. Viva Mexico! If y'all country so damn great, why ain't y'all asses there? We was betrayed and sold.
Okay.
To the point where I feel like it's my option to patronize that title or not. All due respect to him, if something jumped off and all black people were attacked, I would stand with them for survival.
Great.
I find a lot of them arrogant and condescending and disrespectful to Afro-Americans when they're here on the civil rights that our mothers and fathers and grandfathers fought for. I just think they ought to be a little bit more respectful under all the circumstances, that they betrayed us, backstabbed us, served us, sold us, and then they're living in America benefiting off of the civil rights that we fought for. That being said...
You're talking about white America, correct?
No, I'm talking about Africa. I'm talking about
you're talking about Africans that came over.
Right.
Okay.
The Africans, they sold us.
Right.
They sold us in slavery.
Right.
Then, you know, a lot of them are condescending.
Okay.
Disrespectful toward Afro-Americans.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that being said, I call myself an Afro-American.
Okay.
Not denying I'm a descendant of an African.
Okay.
But just before the betrayal, I call myself an Afro-American.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and I don't like this nigga's music. This nigga's music garbage. I've never been an Afroman fan. However, this nigga got a point. These motherfuckers sold us, sold my ancestors. Fuck them. If they was in cahoots with Europeans, yeah, that's why us as black people have detached from calling ourselves African American. Some shit that was popularized by Jesse Jackson in 1988. I mean, before that, black people weren't referred to as African American. We were considered Afro American, colored, Negro. And maybe some writings here or there in the 1700s. It might have been African. I don't even think it was African American. I think it was just Africans when they referred to us. But those weren't all the people that were enslaved. There were indigenous black-skinned people here in America that was enslaved. So I'm with him. Yeah, I'm not calling myself. I had to tell an African woman, she's like, you come from Africa. No, bitch. Do I look African? And it's not necessarily all about phenotype, but people move to other places, culminate with other groups, ethnic groups of people. That's like saying the Dravidians fucking African. Maybe they migrated out of Africa, but centuries of being out of Africa in a different region, culminating with different cultures, establishing their own identity and culture, different rituals, practices, religion, literature, language. Like, you just got something new. They got Fijians darker than me. Them niggas technically are black skinned people, but they're not African American, or they're not black Americans, nor are they Africans. Same thing with people in Germany, Iceland, people in South America, Guatemala, people in Sweden, Europe. Yes, while they might have melanin in their skin, that doesn't necessarily make them African. I never understood why people try to link black people with Africa as we can't we can't have a different ethnic background. I fail to realize how just because we got melanin in our skin, how that automatically makes us the same people as over there, right? We share similarities. We got melanin in our skin, but that's pretty much it. We have a distinct different culture. Hell, we've commingled with the European and the native indigenous people here. It's sort of like the Puerto Ricans that were made from the Spaniards and Taínos people. They're not European. They're not Spanish. They're not even Tainos. They're a blend of all that. And they're a new type of people. So you got to call them Puerto Ricans, right? It's the same thing with black Americans. People are like, oh, y'all African. Motherfucker, we haven't been in Africa in 500 years. And even when we were in Africa, it wasn't called Africa. And that's not even an African word. So, like, I guess if you want to say that we all share some genealogy with Africans, you got a point there. But then again, everybody in the world has genetics that trace back to Africa because that was the civilization of mankind. But to say, like, black people were Africans, like, nigga, they only transported about 300,000 people from Africa. There were people already. I hate this notion that people like to think it wasn't no motherfucking people over here in the Americas. And people always say, they always point to the red Indians. And it's just like, bro, if you look at photographs of the 1840s when photography was invented and see those people, they're darker than me. That is black. You can say, oh, they had Eurasian genetics, and yeah, but black. They got African genetics. That don't make them African. That makes them indigenous to here. Those motherfuckers crossed the Bering Straits like 15,000 years ago. I fail to realize how it's the same damn person. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with Afroman. Plus, on top of all that, while I've known some Africans, been cool with some Africans, they're like Chinese people. I've never had like an overall good experience from Africans. Maybe Ethiopians. I used to bang this Ethiopian girl. She was nice. I worked with this Eritrean woman. She was nice. Eastern Africans, they treat a nigga like decent. I've never had a pleasant experience with a Nigerian or anybody from West Africa. You know what I'm saying? They've always been rude. Like, there's this smugness. Hell, I work with a woman and she's from Nigeria or Ghana. She's not friendly at all. Even though she's still, eye fucks me every time she sees me. When I step to her and just like shoot the breeze, bitch gives me attitude for no reason. So, yeah, fuck them. In any event, if y'all like this episode, you know what to do, and I'm out. No.